Growing your online business without social media. It is something that can be done. Whether you are in the beginning stages or you have been struggling for a few months or even a few years to try to launch your profitable, impactful, and scalable online business, God's way, not the world's way. And you know that you don't want to be a slave to social media anymore. You don't want to be constantly sharing yourself, creating those micro pieces of content that feel unforced or that feel unnatural and forced. You don't need to constantly show up on social media to find new customers and clients if that doesn't feel good to you. But let me tell you, even if it does feel good to you and you like social media is not the place to be growing your email list or your business. Even if you like to spend hours on Reels and creating TikToks, it is not the place to grow your email list and business fast. This online business loves momentum, and you can grow it at a pace that works for you. The number one thing that I find when working with clients, and it was my hang up too, is that I was constantly trying to build my email list, and it was a slow process that I didn't want to launch. I didn't want to bring my dream and idea out into the world because my email list wasn't big enough, or I didn't have the right number of people yet. I thought, like I was told to have, a quote unquote number of people before you launch. And yes, launching your beta founding member program and repeating a live launch process over and over again is a great way to grow your email list. But when you're just getting started and you want to have a successful launch, and sometimes we're going to launch to crickets. It's just going to happen because our messaging isn't right. Our offer might be off alignment a little bit. It's going to be a work in process, and that is okay. Know that. However, when you can learn from someone who has been there, who has launched to crickets 3 or 4 times, also known as your host right here, me, and learned how to tweak things, how to make sure that our messaging, your ideal client, and the offer is all in alignment with what God is calling you to create here on this side of heaven, it makes things so much easier. And I talk a lot about that in the Business by God's Design Academy through my beta launch method that I help my clients and students in the academy launch their beta founding member program and have a successful, small, intimate cohort of their right fit people that they can work with to scale their profitable online business by God's design. And one way that we do that is by building the email list fast with their right perfect fit people, so that once they go through the beta launch method and they launch their beta founding member program, they have some amazing women, men, whoever their ideal client is, to work with them through their beta program to make it absolutely amazing. We monetize before you make your course, your program, whatever it is, and put it out into the world. And that's not what we're talking about today. But if you want to learn more about that, the Called to Business 5-day live event will be taking place July 15th through the 19th. Save your seat if you are a Holy Spirit filled woman of God and you are ready to finally launch your profitable, impactful, and scalable online business by God's design. Save your seat for the Called to Business live event. The link is in the show notes. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about how you can grow your email list and your business without the overwhelm of social media. Yes, it can be done, contrary to what everyone else is teaching. You can have a successful, profitable, and scalable business by God's design without being a slave to social media. You can make social media optional, and you can have that without compromising your faith in your values. How do I know this? Because I am doing it. In the beginning stages of my business, I was a slave to social media. I was doing what I was told to do. Show up in Facebook groups, add those value posts, comment on posts, spend time adding value. So hopefully someone will see that or like what I have to say and go to my Facebook profile and see the link, click on it, and opt into that freebie that I created so they can get on my email list. That way does not work. It may work sometimes for some people, but let me tell you, it is a slow process. And by the time you have 50 to 100 people on your email list to go into your beta founding member launch or that next launch, whatever that looks like for you in the stage of your business, the first 15, 20, 30, 50 people are already gone because maybe you've been nurturing them through your email list. Maybe you haven't, but they're like, yeah, I like what you have to offer, but I'm looking for someone to help me and you didn't make an offer or you didn't do anything until a few months later and now they're gone. What I know about this online business is that it loves speed. Not necessarily that it loves speed because it loves speed. Let's just stop there. It loves speed. But what I want to get to is, yes, everything's in God's timing. God's timing is absolutely perfect. Yes and amen. But what I know about us as humans is we like to see momentum. So what I mean about that, we love momentum. Our business loves momentum. So what do I mean about that? When you put an effort out there and you see results, it increases your excitement. It increases your belief and faith of, I can do this. Yeah, people want what I have to offer. So when we do that, it increases our belief. It increases our faith. So when we do more of that thing, then that's when momentum picks up because we are seeing our email list growing. We are getting feedback from our people, whether it's in our email list or our Facebook community. We are getting those aha moments and we're building our email list that doesn't need to take 5, 6, 7, 8 months, a year, like it does with the slow growth organic strategies. Like podcasting, YouTube, all of those are great. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. All of them are great. I have a podcast. Obviously, you're listening to it. But it's a way I use to nurture my audience and nurture those who are already on my email list. Yes, I get new people through my podcast. And if you found me on the podcast by doing an SEO search or a keyword search, yay! I don't know SEO that great. I know keywords and what my audience is searching for, but I'm just not there yet. It's not a strategy that I've invested in or had someone help me with. I know a little bit of SEO to say, yes, people are searching for how to build a business without social media. I know that's keywords. I know those are phrases that you're searching. So I know that this episode will probably be a pretty good episode that my ideal client, Christian women in online business, will be listening to. But podcasting, YouTube, those are slower growth organic strategies, and they are great to add in once you have momentum in your business. Once you have an email list that you are selling to and you have a proven offer, then I like to teach, yes, figure out what you like to do and bring in one of these long form content strategies like podcasting, YouTube, or blogging, and use that to nurture the people that are on your email list. That's one way you can take yourself off social media, is using podcasting, YouTube, blogging, whatever the Lord's calling you to nurture your people and then eventually use it as a lead generation tool as well. But there is a faster lead generation strategy that I teach, and I'll get into that and give you some other ways how you can grow your email list without social media, because it is important. But back to momentum and that speed, everything's in God's timing. But when you see it working, when you have that belief, it actually makes you want to get that confidence to keep doing that thing, to show up for your people and keep moving forward in your business, instead of letting fear stop you because you like, it's taking forever and I'm told to post and pray on social media and post these value posts and it's just not working. Well, it's not working because it's just not working. Everyone's in those Facebook groups to do the same thing anyways. And I have found, especially for Christian women, kingdom-minded women, and mamas, we are busy. Whether you're a mom, a stay-at-home mom, you work a 9 to 5, we don't have the time to constantly be showing up, showing our face, or doing a live or creating a reel for social media. And followers and lurkers aren't leads. They're not a lead until they're on your email list in the first place. So even if you have something that goes viral and you have like thousands and thousands of views or followers, they are not a lead until they're on your email list, just plain and simple. And you don't need to be constantly sharing yourself and your business on social media if that's not what's going to work for you. And at this day and time, for me, that's not what's going to work for me. Yes, I show up. Yes, I have a Facebook group. Yes, I post. But the way that I teach in the Business by God's Design Academy is first we get clear on your business by God's design, you by God's design, your irresistible yes offer for your one person you're called to serve. And then we merge into a lead growth generation strategy through my smart lead gen method. And then you build your email list, you launch your beta founding member program, you serve the socks off those people that are in your beta founding member program. And while you're doing that, that's when you start to determine, okay, how do I want to continue to bring people in? There's lots of lead generation strategies that are organic, that allow you not to be a slave to social media and not have to spend money on paid ads through my smart lead gen method. So you get to pick and choose what works for you. And then you launch your beta founding member program. You serve the socks off them. You create an amazing offer and program for your people. And then you get to determine, okay, how do I want to be nurturing? How do I want to create content? Because yes, we need content. Content creation is important. So we focus on the long form content and then chunking that down into those micro pieces of content that if you decide to and want to just post on social media to nurture your people, post in your Facebook group if that's something you choose to do, or show up on Instagram, or eventually have your team do that for you, you can do that. So that is what we teach inside the Business by God's Design Academy, which doors will be opening in July if that's something that interests you. But that's not where you need to start. It's really not. And it's backwards from what I've learned, because what I learned didn't work and what I teach works, right? It works and clients are having great success with it. So once you determine, okay, the long form content, I'll give you it's podcasting, blogging, YouTube. Those are long form content that live on and on and on. And when you incorporate keywords into it, the SEO strategy, people are searching for it, they find you. Okay. But then you always need to have, and I like to use that long form content as a nurture strategy. There's a three-part customer. I can't remember point or part. It really doesn't matter. I think I called it the 3-part customer life cycle. There's 3 things basically that you need to have functioning and working in your business every month is lead generation, nurturing those leads, and converting them into a sale. Lead, nurture, sales. Those need to be consistently working in your business. Whether you go into a sales conversion strategy every month or every quarter, it's going to look different for each and every one of your businesses. You're doing business God's way, by God's design, not the world's way. But you always need to have new people coming into your realm of influence and nurturing them. So when you can do that and you have a system that works for you, your business starts to turn like a well-oiled machine, and it starts to it's awesome. It starts to become scalable. And those lead generation strategies that you can implement without being a slave to social media is something that I teach inside the Online Business by God's Design Academy. And I've talked about it before. It's bundles, freebie swaps. It's basically the overarching umbrella of the smart lead generation strategy is leveraging kingdom relationships and collaborations. We're not meant to do business on our own anyways. We are meant to do business and life together as kingdom-minded women who want to see the kingdom grown and established here on this side of heaven. And when you can lock arms with other women and men who have that same value and mindset, a rising tide lifts all the boats. So collaborations, kingdom collaborations, establishing relationships so you can serve the heck out of each other's ideal clients is the best way to grow your email list. It's the best way. It literally transformed my business back in 2022. And I teach it to this day because as kingdom-minded women, we don't want to be showing up constantly on social media. We don't want to. We're exhausted by it. For some of us, it's just not natural. And when you make a post with our values and what we want to talk about and that movement that we're creating on this side of heaven, we tend to be kind of polarizing, opposite to countercultural to what the ways of the world. And Facebook and Zuckface and Instagram, they don't like that, right? They just don't like that. So you can do this business without being a slave to social media. Whether you're just getting started or you're like, okay, this audience building and growing my email list, I know it's important and it's just not working this way. And I got that way because I found myself constantly scrolling, 24/7 screen time, feeling tethered to that device, trying to fight the algorithms, trying to, just serve my people and serve them well, but fighting the algorithms, finding my posts removed. And that's not what I signed up for. It just wasn't. So I knew there had to be a better way. So instead of trying to force myself to be on social media and show up and do lives like everyone says I needed to do, I found a different, better, faster way of growing my online business that was still organic, that didn't make me be a slave to social media, that allowed me to be found by my people. I was allowed to share what I like to call my lighthouse message, that movement shaking, creating message that allowed me to shine bright in this dark and dreary world. And my people were able to find me by showing up, sharing my message through those lead generation strategies and collaborations in a way that felt natural, true to who I am, and not doing it the way of the world. I struggled for 2.5 years until I hosted a virtual event, a summit. And with that first summit, I grew my email list with 656 people. My next one was close to 1,400. I hosted a bundle recently, 949 people, something like that. A 16% unsubscribe rate in that bundle, which is okay. It's going to happen. That's all right. I'm okay with that. But that left me with 800 and some women that I could nurture and move into the call to business launch that I'm having, that I'll move into opening doors again to my business academy. If they're ready to finally have a profitable, scalable, and impactful online business by God's design, and do it without being a slave to social media and without compromising their faith and value. So it's a great strategy. It's summits, bundles, lead generation, leveraging other people's audiences is a great strategy. Now, I'm not going to say that you don't need social media. You may need it in the beginning. What I love about social media, Facebook, is mostly is that the groups, the community. You can connect and nurture and lead people into your Facebook group or any community outside of social media, honestly, Mighty Networks, Heartbeat, and serve them and nurture them there. When you're first getting started, you do definitely need to have a place to do that because you're learning email, you're learning how to nurture, you're learning how to train your audience to respond back to you through email. Remember that 3-part customer life cycle. You need to have leads, you need to nurture those leads well, and then you need to merge them into the sales strategy, your sales conversion event, launch strategy, whatever that is. And in the beginning, you're learning how to nurture. So Facebook communities and showing up there for weekly trainings, weekly lives is a great way to do it. I still use the Facebook community to run my live launch events in. So it's a great strategy. And it is something that I teach to do in the beginning stages of your business. So, my number one strategy for lead generation and nurturing, because they can be merged together, is summits, bundles, freebie swaps, other strategies that leverage other people's audiences and help you create kingdom relationships and collaborations. The best way. The best way. There are definitely other ways out there. And I'm going to give you some ideas if it's something that you're interested in and talk a little bit about that. So first is networking. There are tons of networking events out there. There's online networking events. You can go to Eventbrite and find networking events. But one thing I will caution you is don't get caught up in doing too many networking events, because that, once again, it can take up all your time, but you still need to have a place to bring people to. The only reason I show up for networking events is to network with other people of the same mindset, those that have the same ideal client, or I know that they're going to be there and have the same ideal client as I do, but they have complementary niches, or they serve them in a complementary way that would add value to my audience. And I make sure that I am bringing something of value as well, whether it's I'm going to be hosting a summit in the next couple of months, or a virtual event, or a podcast. Hey, do you want to do a podcast swap with me? So make sure you're bringing something of value that you can offer people that you want to network and collaborate with. And then the collaborations, create collaborations with other people in your industry. You're going to want to collaborate with those who have the same ideal client, but are complementary to what you do to make it an easy yes for them when you reach out to them. Other ways to grow without social media is definitely improving your SEO. But in the beginning, you don't know how to do that. And spending time just on doing that isn't going to be beneficial because you're not bringing your people in. Once you have a process to bring your people in, and you have a process like podcasting, YouTube to nurture them, then SEO is a great tool to focus on to strengthen that, so you can get new leads from those long-form content strategies like podcast, YouTube, blogging. You can run ads. Google ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Pinterest ads. You can run ads to, the cows come home. But it's not a strategy that I teach in the beginning stages of your business, because you don't need it. Collaborations bring in your people. Yes, I have done ads. I've tried ads. I run a few ads here and there. I dibble dabble in it because I want to understand the ins and outs. Will I continue to run ads in the future? I don't know. Collaborations is a great strategy, and it's what I use and what I focus on. But you can run ads, but it's not something I recommend in the beginning unless you understand it yourself. And then if you want to hire it out, make sure you understand that they're actually doing a good job. You need to know the numbers. You need to understand how ads work in order to outsource it. But once again, why throw away your hard-earned money when you're trying to get your business off the ground? Keep it and grow the kingdom by using kingdom collaborations. And once again, it's always going back to growing your email list. That is the most important part, is all of these ways to grow your business needs to be growing your email list as well. There is power in your email list. You own it. And if social media, if everything goes down, you still have your email list. And once again, make use of those long form pieces of content, podcasting, YouTubing. They're a great way to grow your email list and use it as nurture tool to your people and eventually lead generation strategy. But those are slower organic growth strategies that definitely take a while longer than implementing a bundle within 30 days and putting that out into the world and building your email list, or doing 2 freebie swaps a month to grow your email list. The last freebie swap I did brought in 85 new amazing people within, a week. So I don't know what else would do that with hardly any work, no money spent, and I just brought in 85 new amazing women, right? So those are a great strategy too, but definitely make sure you're doing it appropriately. Make sure that you are doing it, that it creates a win-win-win for everyone involved, a win for you, a win for the person you're collaborating with, and a win for each other's audiences. And that's definitely what I teach and strive to teach, because we are creating a business with impact. And when we can create and leverage other people's audiences and create those relationships, we are serving their people well. We're serving our people well and creating that kingdom impact here. Hosting events, like live launching, hosting events, hosting summits, another great way to bring people into your realm of influence. Doing fireside chats, panel discussions, all of those are lead generation collaboration strategies as well, but I'm just throwing those out there. Speaking at virtual events, finding summits. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can pop over to the Facebook group. I don't have that listed in the show notes, but I will definitely put that in the show notes now since I mentioned this. But I have two Facebook groups. One is the main one for those who want to have a profitable business by God's design. And then there's another one, Speaking and Collaboration, for Christian women and entrepreneurs and online coaches. And this is where I pop in and send you different collaboration strategies that come across my desk. So if you're interested in being a speaker at a virtual event, or maybe hosting or participating in a bundle, pop on in there, because you can share your collaboration that you decide to create, or you can find one as well to speak or collaborate with in that group. At the end of the day, just turning away from social media allows us to find a place that is able to give us more of our life, more peace, more of time with family instead of stealing our time. We get more than just growing our email list, growing our business through a different strategy when we decide not to leverage social media, instead leverage other people's audiences, kingdom relationships, and we get to serve more people that way too. So think about that. It's just a way to create more space and time freedom. And honestly, people have been selling products and services from the beginning of time without social media. So there's definitely other ways, other strategies out there. So if you are listening to this and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to launch and have a profitable, impactful, and scalable business by God's design, then save a seat at the Call to Business live event that I will be hosting July 15th. You will get the roadmap to creating and launching an online business by God's design without social media and without sacrificing your time, your values, or your faith. And then if you hear this and you're like, oh, I'm already there. I'm looking to have a lead generation strategy between my launches that doesn't require me to hustle and find new people constantly, then the Visibility for Impact Club might be for you. That club, those doors are not open now because I am doing some restructuring. It's not going to be a monthly membership. It is going to be something different where it's just a one-time investment, one-time access to, and you can get all of my lead generation strategies. But those who are inside the Business by God's Design Academy gets all of these lead generation strategies and all these mini courses on how to collaborate with bundles, freebie swap summits free inside the Business by God's Design Academy as well. So either way, stay tuned. There's more coming for the Visibility for Impact Club. And if you're like, yeah, that Call to Business live event is for me, then save your seat at the link in the show notes. I pray this episode blessed you and have an amazing day.